A quick blast of Arctic air making for a not so fun beginning to this Monday, especially early. We had temperatures dipping well down into the single digits, even a few of the outlying areas getting below zero for a short period of time. But we moderated things nicely, and the deep freeze is going to disappear quickly over the next few days. We were well on our way today to doing that already, especially down south. Milder air returns across the board. Highs in the 50s by Thursday everywhere. I think even Wednesday down south you could be there fairly close to it tomorrow. Quick shot of chilly air Friday, but the good news is it's not going to last very long at all. In fact, we are going to see temperatures probably at or above average, it looks like, for the second half of the month. Check out some of these morning lows. 1 above Lexington, Moorhead, 5 above Richmond, down to Mount Vernon, 7 along the Howell Rogers Parkway in the Kentucky 80 corridor from Manchester over to London, Somerset as well. High pressure in control, few high thin clouds, all the activity, lake effect cranked up there across parts of Pennsylvania and into upstate New York. A little snow on the ground still, some of it melting away, and that slowed the quote-unquote warming process a bit. Of course, the sun having set within the last 25-30 minutes, so we're 28 there in Mount Sterling. Meanwhile, down in Jackson County, McKee, nothing on the ground, and 30. So areas of southern Kentucky with a bare ground and no light snowpack saw mid to upper 30s, even around 40. Now 38 there in Monticello. Meanwhile, we struggled to get close to the 30-degree mark along I-64 because we had to overcome that little bit of light accumulation from Saturday night into Sunday. Look at the temperature change. 24 hours ago at this time, 18 to 20 degrees colder, so it actually feels pretty decent, everything being relative. Coldest air now off to our northeast there, running from Columbus over to Pittsburgh. High pressure setting over north central Georgia. Note the wind streams coming out of the southwest, and that's going to be key to holding our temperatures up. Sure to be cold in the morning, but nothing remotely close to what we had this morning. Probably 20-ish here in the Bluegrass, more so low to mid-20s down south. And then look at tomorrow afternoon. Either side of the 40-degree mark along I-64 northward, and you folks southern, southeast Kentucky, you're headed to the mid-40s. That's close to average for this time of the year. Heading the right direction. There's your little speed bump getting into the day on Friday, but then we do recover in time for the weekend as we officially close out fall with the winter solstice coming up on Sunday morning. So a little weak system Wednesday, mainly dry, and then the main action breezy to windy, gusts over 30 miles per hour. Some gusty showers rolling through here, but mid-50s, and then colder air follows suit. So this week, Thursday is going to be our day of wet weather, not wintry weather, and then a low-end chance on Saturday. Talk about a bit of a roller coaster ride. One of those deals where it looks like the majority of the moisture is out of here by the time the colder air catches up. But we're only into the low to mid-30s for highs on Friday. But interestingly enough, heading into the evening and the overnight, this warm front arcs through, so temperatures are actually going to rise into Saturday morning, and then we get enough of a southwest flow to push us all the way back up into the low 50s on Saturday with a few low-end shower chances as this next front cruises in here for the second half of the weekend. Looking at the overall temperature outlook heading toward Christmas, look at how a lot of the lower 48, the only exception being the Great Lakes and into New England, it'll be maybe at a little below normal, talking above the curve. So where the first part of the month has been unseasonably cold, we may do just the opposite to wrap up the year. Fair skies, not as cold as what we dealt with this morning. Still chilly though, 20 here in Lexington, probably mid-20s down south. Tomorrow, 40-ish here in the Bluegrass, warming up more with that southwest wind. Farther south you go, more so into the mid-40s. In the extended forecast, there's your wind and your rain ahead of that front on Thursday. Will get cold for a day, but then the low of 28, that'll be midnight or so, and then we rise, and we're looking a little better. Again, winter officially arriving on Sunday morning with afternoon highs in the upper 40s.